Good evening. Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024, and this is the weekly Bitcoin price forecast looking at where Bitcoin went in the past week and where it could potentially go in the future. This is by far the latest forecast that I've done. I've had a lot of travel for the holidays and whatnot, but we're still going to do it. It's Sunday. It still counts. And let's take a look here at what Bitcoin has done for really the month of December. So right now, I'm starting with a 3-month chart. Normally, I start with a 1-month chart. So each candle here is 3 months worth of data. Normally, it's where it's 1 month worth of data. So that's what a monthly chart is. So if you look at that, I started talking. I mean, we're at the end of the year here, so I'm kind of actually this is the last one of 2024, so a little bit reflective right now. So I started talking about Bitcoin. I think it was like April 16th, 2023. So about a year and a half ago, about a year and 8 months maybe. Um, so at this point, it was around 25,000. It went up to like 30,000, but it just like ranged for some time pretty much. There's also I mean, it just ended up going up and up and up. So these are 3-month charts pretty much. So this is I guess it's quarterly pretty much. It's a quarterly chart pretty much. So this is October of 2023, and then all the way through March of 2024, you just had a huge upward move, and then it came down for about 8 months, and then the last, as we've seen, like the last couple months have just been absolutely monstrous. So I mean, you look at October of 2024, and it just went straight up. December has been down a little bit, but I really just think that's people selling off for Christmas pretty much. Like it's kind of the end of the year. It's going to be quiet anyway. We're not really in the heat of the bull market just yet. And also, we just hit this major $100,000 level. So we're on the monthly chart now. You see, it ran up and it got all the way up to about $108,000, and then ended up coming back down. So December will probably close negative. I don't see it breaking above 100,000. Well, you have about 2 days left in the month, but then the next week is a holiday, so we're pretty much closing in. 2 days left. We'll see. It could have a huge return, but who knows? Um, so yeah, at this point, that's 92,000. It'll probably stay here in range for a little bit, and then just continue on as we go up. So once you break this $100,000 level, there's not really too much above it that's going to stop it from just advancing very quickly. And I don't think that's the thing about this whole exponential curve thing. Like it happens again very slowly, very slowly, very slowly, and then it starts picking up, and then it gets faster and faster and faster. So these next couple candles are going to be much larger than what the normal candle is. So let's take a look at the weekly chart. Kind of switched up the technical analysis today, but a little bit. But I mean, I like to put the drawings on the weekly chart because it gets a little bit more granular. So overall, you see these changing trend lines. So you had a channel here and a channel here. Hit the top of this one, came down, deviated to the bottom a little bit. Really, just kind of tapped the moving average. You had this top. It was like a tap of this long-term support in August of 2024. This was like early August. I want to say it was like the 5th or something. So it had this tap somewhere around 50,000, and then it ended up running just like vertical. Probably in the span of a month or two, just ended up started like this absolute moon mission, and just continuing on to the upside until it eventually hit 100,000. It peaked above it for a little bit and came down. That is perfectly reasonable. And as we see here, I drew this line. There's this line in the sand right here that exists about $90,000. It does not seem that it's going below that. I'm not saying that it can't, but it does not seem that it's going to go below there. And if it does, it won't be for a significant time frame because like it's just there's so much buy pressure right here on this area, and then like again, $100,000. It's an exciting number because this is what gets people back into it and back looking at it a little bit more. So I do think we're going to stay here maybe for a little bit, maybe leading into the inauguration of next year. It could be sooner. Who knows? But there will be a rebound. There will absolutely be a rebound to the upside, and when that does happen, it's going to be quick. It's going to be quick, and there's not going to be a whole bunch of time to let me get in at this level and let me buy this dip back. There's not going to be not much sell pressure above that, and if there is, like the buy pressure is just going to be too overwhelming. I would say a little bit too overwhelming. Let's look at the daily chart real quick. So, daily chart. you had this triangle here, and again, you draw this level at 92,000. It comes here, bounces, 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 but can never break. And now you also have this moving average that's broken above it. So it's like it's even harder for now to break there because it has returned to, okay, this is average. But when you're in an above average environment, it doesn't stay average very long. It ends up going to the upside. So let's say maybe even it comes back down to 85 for a flash. That would be drastic in my opinion. Just looking at this right now, that'd be pretty drastic. Um, yeah, we're close, guys. Like we're pretty close, guys. It's not gonna happen. It's not going to it's not gonna take too long. Like you see all these attempts. It could never break below right here. Um, Above here, like this is a strong level, like this 92,000 roughly. Um, yeah, no, that's good. No, that's good stuff for sure. I think we can leave it at that. There's not too much to talk about in like the 4 hour chart. You're in a downtrend, boom, boom, boom. Once it starts breaking above here, that's when you'll start to see stuff move very quickly. So some of these visits back to like 100,000, they were temporary because like, it couldn't break the moving average. Yeah, once it really started getting below here on Wednesday, mid month, it wasn't going to break above that. So really on the 4 hour chart, just waiting for this to break back above the white line on top and then the blue line and the purple line. So really just waiting for this 50-day moving average. No, that's the 4 hour chart. So the 50 moving average on this chart to get up there. So we'll see. We'll see. Forex Factory. Let's take a look. This is where I get my news from, the updates at least, and they happen cyclically, like on a monthly basis, pretty much. So you kind of know what's coming. But this gives you the exact time. So let's take a look here. So really, there's not too much news to note. Unemployment that happens all the time. Manufacturing, blah blah blah. Job openings. The biggest thing here is going to be the non-farm employment change. So that's your non-farm payroll. Basically, that is the amount of job. It's a job change things pretty much. That was the pandemic, and it was kind of crazy this wild number. But I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so this chart starts to make sense because that kind of throws it all off. Um, and really, what I'm looking at this, it kind of says that all right, well, the labor market has been struggling. You see, this is a downtrend pretty much. Like it's going down and down and down and down. But what I see is that it's leveled off. It's leveled off here, and I think liquidity is going to end up rising. Actually, that's something I could look at too. We're at about 7 minutes. I'll try to cap this at like 10 to 15, but um, I think global liquidity is going to end up rising, which theoretically I would think would lift the job market at this point. So we saw this even a rebound here. There was this, I don't know what happened in November, this super miss, and then it just came back very strong. So yeah, I have no idea what happened in November. That is an outlier for sure. So something happened in November. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look into that more. I haven't done that research. But overall, yeah, you can look at this and see that, hey, well, it's been trending down. I do expect to now see it start to go up more. I don't know what level it will return to. That depends on like kind of how much money and is available in the system and how cheap money is and how cheap labor is. We'll see. We will have to see. But yeah, that's kind of what that is. That's really the only, and that's not even next week. That's like January 10th. So you have a little while. Let's look at this real quick. Global liquidity. So this is from Michael. This is the one I like. This is the one I like. This is from Michael Howe. He is a macroeconomist. Um, so it's like the global liquidity index. So you see, this is cross-border capital. This is Michael Howe, who I was talking about. And this is like the 60-month cycle. This is some guy's Instagram. I don't know who that is. Shout out to Cam McCarroll. But yeah, no, this is the chart pretty much. But over time, like this line pretty much is just showing how much money is in the system and what's available, and what you can see. It's not perfect, but it ends up going kind of cyclically over time, like where there are rises and dips that are somewhat predictable. So what happened here in 2020, like we had this huge rise of capital pretty much in liquidity, and then it all just kind of drained off slowly to where you were really at the bottom, like these super low levels that we haven't seen since like 2006. Um, but now here's what happens. Like the liquidity ends up rising and we're expected to be on the upswing. So that means generally there should be an appreciation in asset prices. That includes Bitcoin and gold and the stock market and all the other things that people invest in, just because again there is more money available for people to do those things. Um, yeah, no, it's interesting. So like, what this is what really gave me hope last year. In 2023 was like I saw this. Started looking into liquidity more, and I saw like, all right, well, this just means we were at the bottom of the cycle. It was a really tough time to trade because there really wasn't as much money flowing. Now there's going to be much more money flowing around in the system, and that'll last for a year or two. Even on the downswing, there'll still be even if it's decreasing. The absolute terms of money that could be available, like that still ends up being high. So it's like you have this looks like a peak in 2026, and then into 2027 it could contract. So we'll see. Again, that's all I can say. We'll see. You never know. I don't know who this is. All right, I just need to see the chart. Um, yeah, no, that's it. We'll talk about reserve risk too. I just like to look at charts pretty much like Bitcoin reserve risk. Um, they kind of give like an overview of what it is. It's a chart that allows you to visualize confidence among long-term Bitcoin holders relative to the price of Bitcoin at any given moment in time. So when confidence is high and price is low, then there's an attractive risk to reward invest in Bitcoin at that time in the green zone. So that's a good time when it's in the green zone. When confidence is low and price is high, then risk to reward is unattractive. The red zone. So you got a higher risk to reward there. And that it's not good. You need your ratio to be right for you want to invest in something. It's like you have to be able to get something out of it for your risk that you are taking because this is a risk. And this is also not financial advice. So investing in Bitcoin during periods where reserve risk is in the green zone has produced outsized returns over time. So guess what? Where are we at? The green zone. And we're leaving the green zone, but we've been in the green zone since 2022, actually. So this is all a fantastic time to buy Bitcoin. Like, wow, this is actually like beautiful. Like it ends up. So the thing I tell you to look at. So if we're in a really good time to buy right now, and this is at $100,000, $106,000, it's gonna go up. It's probably like likely. I don't know. Again, we don't know. It looks like it's gonna go up. So and it's just like the environment is so much more friendly for crypto now. So like we didn't even reach the red zone last time. I think we're gonna shatter the red zone in this one. Like we'll get up pretty high. I'm thinking that it'll overshoot somewhere above 450,000. I mean, the 450,000 my baseline, but there will be an overshoot. I can't guess how big that overshoot is, but I'm looking at what the models say for at least where it should rest. Like it'll overshoot and then it could correct back to what is average and what's the median. But outside of that, it'll rest somewhere. And I think that somewhere will be around $450,000. So somewhere before the end of next year. Um, I think that's it. I mean, again, I like looking at charts like this. It's not just price, and you want to see what that risk profile is. So if you're looking at it, again, we're in the green zone. To me, that says we're probably going to go up. So that's it. We'll call it a day. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone listening. I appreciate everyone listening for this year. It's been a good year. It has been absolutely a good year. Even going into the end of the year, we have a lot of plans for Pulse on Crypto. A lot of plans for growth for sure. I think next year is going to be a year where a lot of people start to realize that this actually is a thing. This Bitcoin stuff that we're talking about, and crypto even further, decentralized finance, all the things that we want to call it. But again, definitely been a good year. So shout out to y'all for listening. Shout out to everyone who wants to learn. Check out the Crypto Escape Velocity course, our boot camp. Like I think we've done a great job with that one. Really proud of that one, and really proud of the work that's been put into it. And I think we're going to be able to teach a lot of people about how this stuff works. So this is these forecasts are good. They're basically an overview of what I'm doing, or not really what I'm doing. What I see in the market for the upcoming week. Just a week long forecast, but really what we do is like the next layer below, and that's what the actual crypto side of it. So Bitcoin's Bitcoin and crypto is crypto. They're tied together, but they are separate, and they're different entities for sure. But and we really do teach people how to do crypto. So again, this has been Chris Talks Crypto. Check out any crypto based resources on christalkscrypto.com, and I will see y'all on the moon. Take care. Bye bye.